Morning. So today we need to go to the airport and work on the airplane hopper. We've got a couple small leaks in it, and I'll show you some of the adhesive that's in there that's kind of peeling loose. We're going to take that out and replace it. But in order to do that, we have an auger that's in the hopper that is for dry, whether it be fertilizer or seeds for cover crop seeding. And that auger needs to get out of there so that I can get in the hopper and do the work I need to do. So let's go out to the airport and we'll work on that. Now to the job that I'm not looking forward to. I think once I do it once it'll be better, but getting this auger out of here. I got a couple little leaks in here. I got some sealant in here that is not the stuff that I would use. It just doesn't seem to be holding very well, so I've got some different sealant. But I gotta get in here and get down there and clean that out and reseal it. So I need to get the auger out of the way. I'm not very big, but I can't fit through there. I tried. It was close, but not quite. I think what I'm gonna do, so that framework splits in half, but since I'm doing this on my own, boy, this old strap looks like it needs to go to the junkyard. But it should work for what I'm doing. I'm going to use it to support the front half of that auger, so when I remove the back half, it doesn't put pressure on those bolts on the front and end up cracking my fiberglass. That's the plan. We'll see if we can make that work. Looks like I'm gonna have to hook it to itself. Don't want a lot of pressure on it, I just want to support it. Yep. Okay. Wow. Okay. That apparently doesn't want to. Oh my goodness. Those are all stainless steel too, so. So there's 2 bolts on each side of the split. I've got the front bolts out. So theoretically, that should slide out of there. Now, what I've got is, I've got 2 of those bolts out already. I'm gonna take the other 2 out, just because I only wanna have to handle half the frame instead of half the frame and the auger, since I'm doing this by myself. And then there'll be, I don't know if we can see it, there will be 4 bolts up above to get that frame out, but we'll get these other 2 out of the bearing block first. Okay, so now this plate, 4 bolts, is supporting the back of the framework for the auger. I've got the auger block loose, so I need to get those 4 bolts out, and we'll see the back half of that framework should come out. Auger in the front half should be supported, hopefully, because I do not want to put pressure on the front 4 bolts up there and crack that fiberglass, so that would be a bad day. So we'll work on getting those 4 bolts out next. Auger's out. I got the front half to take out. Of course, there's a motor and hydraulic lines. Hoping the hydraulic lines, I would assume, I have not been up there to look yet, but I'm going to assume they have opposite ends on them, so you could just make a closed loop and, you know, tie them together, tie them to itself. Not sure the proper terminology on that, but I think you know what I mean. Otherwise, I gotta find some plugs for the end of the hydraulic lines, but need to get that part out of here and then get working on removing. You can see that it's peeling up, so I just need to tear it out, scratch up the, use an emery pad or something, scratch up the fiberglass a little bit, put the correct stuff in. And a couple small leaks to get fixed up. I don't like having an aircraft that's leaking. There's my bearing block down there in the bottom. I'll have to go get that. So, see if we can get the front of this unhooked. I'll have to check on those. I suppose the next step is unhooking the hydraulic lines. So this is the I'm gonna call it a backing plate, or it's actually top, it was on the top of the hopper, but this supports the back of the framework in there for the auger. You can see I kind of buffed the edges down already while it was on the plane carefully so I didn't mar up the paint, but very sharp edges. I'm gonna get this smoothed down. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. You know, you cut a piece of metal and all the slag from the cut was still on this top edge. You can still kind of see some of it. I ground it all off, made it better, but I still want to get rid of these sharp edges because, you know, every load when you come in, your loading crew is up on this airplane washing your window, and of course this is where it is, and they're reaching across, washing the window for you, getting everything cleaned up, trying to reach over to this far side, which that puts your arm right there. So need to get it smoothed out, cleaned up. I'll clean that up before I put it back together, and put some adhesive under there so I don't have any leaks. But pretty shoddy work. And the place where this airplane was rebuilt, put together, I think they're, you know, a great company. I've had good conversations with the owner out there about the aircraft before I even bought it. But you know, you can't keep an eye on your employees 100% of the time, so you hope that they're doing the right thing. But obviously that was a miss. Maybe they just forgot about it, whatever. But the adhesive that is in here is not the right adhesive. You know, guys have used a bunch of different things over the years, and through trial and error have found better things. Get down in here. This obviously is not one of the better things. So that's totally peeling up. So all this needs tore out. I'll put, you know, it's really smooth, so I'm gonna mar that fiberglass up a little bit so the new stuff has something to adhere to. But yeah, we've got to get this stuff out of here, and it's kind of pink right now because we had pink water in here. We were doing pattern testing, but yeah, all that stuff's got to be removed and redone. So anyway, a lot of work ahead, but good thing I've got a little bit of time to get it done yet. So, like I said before, you don't want your airplane leaking. It's not a good thing. So, gotta get that sealed up. And the stuff I have down there, the little quart jars in the back, it's a two-part sealer. And it does have a shelf life, so you buy it and you use it. You don't store it on your shelf for very long. But yeah, it's about 400 bucks a quart, so I got 4 quarts sitting there. So just to make sure, you know, if your plane's shut down for a day of spraying, it costs you a lot of money. So $1,600 is then nothing compared to your plane sitting on the ground not making money. So anyway, get back to work. I'm going to try and get the front of that auger frame out of there and the hydraulic motor.
Are you silly? Don't spill your food.
Microphone on, but stuff that was in here did not adhere to the metal very well at all. The only advantage is I guess it makes it easier to come out to get it out of here, but anyway, we are working on getting all this out of here, and we will continue that process, and hopefully have this hopper cleaned out by the end of the day, and hopefully get it wiped down with some solvent, get everything cleaned up, and maybe be ready to apply the new product in tomorrow. Gotta get sweat dried out.
You got a rip in your butt.
I know, my butt's ripped open.